Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
For those of you who may not know me, my name is Peyton Malzewski, and I have been coming to Trinity for my whole life. This fall, I will be attending the University of Connecticut to study sport management. Finally, being able to say that is such a relief. If you asked me the question that all seniors love to be asked of, where are you going next year, at any point before I committed in April, my answer probably would have been something along the lines of, I wish I knew. I'm probably one of the most indecisive people on the planet, which made the college process especially difficult. While touring schools the spring of my junior year and throughout last summer, I never had that wow moment that everyone talks about where you step on campus and you fall in love with it and feel like that's where you're supposed to be. And honestly, that was really discouraging. In today's reading from Romans and the Gospel, we hear two powerful stories about faith. In Romans, Abraham trusted God's promise even when it seemed impossible, believing that God could do what no one else could. In the Gospel, we see people responding to Jesus with that same faith. Matthew leaving everything to follow him, a woman reaching out in hope for healing, and a father trusting Jesus with his daughter's life. These stories remind us that faith is not simply believing in God, it is trusting him enough to follow where he leads, even when the path is uncertain. As I reflect on my own college journey, I can see how important a relationship with God has been during moments of challenge, uncertainty, and growth. Like Abraham, Matthew, and those who encountered Jesus, I learned that God's presence and guidance can carry us through situations we could never navigate on our own. From the beginning of last fall until I submitted my final application, I think I brought my computer to almost every youth group meeting since I needed all the time I could get to work on my applications. Naomi and Kay would offer to proofread essays so I could go off and play a game. They helped me brainstorm ideas for supplemental essays, and Matt probably spent more time than he needed or wanted to, listening to me talk through essay ideas and my feelings about different schools. Then, in January, I submitted my final application, and everything was suddenly out of my hands. I hate to sound cliche and say just trust in God's plan, but that's essentially what I had to do. I knew God would help me through the stressful waiting period and guide me towards the choice that was right for me. And I felt that guidance very clearly in late February on the way to the youth group ski trip. While we were driving up, I received my decision letter from UConn's. After much debate, they convinced me to open the letter, and to my surprise and excitement, I had gotten in. It was such a special moment because I was surrounded by people who had helped me through the entire process. And I remember lying in bed that night, replaying everything in my head and thinking, I think this is my sign from God that this is where I belong. Recently at youth group, I had a conversation with Matt about recognizing God's presence in our lives. When I visited UConn for the second time last fall, when it wasn't 5 degrees and snowing, I felt something I couldn't quite explain. At that time, I wasn't sure what that feeling meant. Looking back now, I believe it was God quietly telling me that this is my place and that I belong there. To make two long stories as short as I could, through my relationship with God, I was able to realize that there was a place meant for me. Even though I couldn't see it when I started the process, all I had to do was place my faith in God and lean on the community here at Trinity. Together, they helped guide me to the place where I am meant to be, and for that, I am incredibly grateful. I encourage you to look for the ways that God is present in your life. Sometimes his guidance shines through unexpected opportunities, moments of clarity when you need them most, or through the people who support you along the way. Looking back, I can see God helping me with the uncertainty of my college journey, even though I couldn't recognize it at the time. I also urge you to think about the relationships you have in your life, and how you can help be a source of support and encouragement the same way that Trinity was for me. Trinity has given me once-in-a-lifetime opportunities to grow and flourish, like being able to serve on the vestry for 3 years and getting to take on a leadership role with the youth group. But the thing that has meant the most to me, more than any of those opportunities, is the people I've met and the community I've been surrounded with here. I've gained friends for life, like Lorelei, and no matter what the outcome of my college process was, I knew I would have this lovely congregation full of people who never failed to show me how much they cared to support me with whatever those next steps were. I will miss coming here every week more than I can put into words. I'm incredibly grateful to have grown up at Trinity, and it will be a very difficult adjustment not starting my week off downstairs with Naomi and all my Sunday school buddies, and not being able to gossip with the 8th grade girls or play games with all the boys at youth group every Monday. Thank you all for being such an important part of my journey, and while I'm excited for what comes next, I can't wait to come back and visit. Thank you.